Well, if all of those flowers in the butterfly garden got you anxious to put flowers in your landscape, we have got a special treat for you today. With us today is Carla Smith, and she's a horticulture professional with TLC Florists and Greenhouses in Oklahoma City. And Carla brought down a bunch of new plants that you might be looking for this year. Thanks for joining us today, Carla.
Thanks, Brenda. It's good to be back in Stillwater.
Well, it's nice to have you here. And I might mention that Carla happens to be an alumna of OSU. So anyway, first off, Carla, there's something that people could be putting out now, these beautiful Snapdragons. And what's special about these? What makes them new?
These are a series, it's a new varieties of trailing or carpet Snapdragons. They work real well in hanging baskets or in patio pots to give you more color where they don't have the height, but they will go ahead and trail over your container.
They really look nice trailing down over this, and they come in several different colors, don't they?
They do, the purple, pink, the yellow, mauve, and they do real well in this cool springtime weather.
What's the name that people need to be looking for on these?
These are flying dragons. Instead of the regular Snapdragons, these are the flying dragons.
Okay, well this sure is pretty here. What's this plant?
This is Bacopa Snowflake. It does real well here in Oklahoma. We've had it before, but it's just really proven to be a good plant for us. It's a good alternative for alyssum. It has the real pretty white flowers and the dainty look that alyssum has, but this one will take the heat better and go longer in the season. This one will bloom until frost.
Okay, that's good to know. We've got a good old standby here with our petunias. And what variety is this?
This is one of our Supertunias. This is the pink variety, and it's really, petunias have come a long ways. These you don't have to pinch, they're ever blooming, and they are a lot thicker. As you can see, the foliage is a lot thicker on these, and they just really are a lot improved over our past petunias.
Well, they look really nice in this hanging basket. And I see another kind of a purple shade right next to it. And what plant is that?
That is the Tapein Verbena, and it is our perennial that we brought today. It's the only one of these that are perennial, and it is a very hardy plant. It makes a real nice ground cover or in hanging baskets or in pots. It will cascade and trail. In the flower beds, it will stay low to the ground about 3 to 6 inches. But when it's in a basket, of course, it will be trailing over.
Okay, so people might think about putting this in and then leaving it over the winter as well as putting it in a hanging basket.
Right.
Right. Well, this yellow plant is beautiful. We've had some of this out here around our greenhouse. And what is this?
This one is Biddens or Bidens, and this is Gold Marie. The foliage looks a lot like the Verbena, but it has a yellow daisy-type flower, and it is a real good performer for us.
Okay. That's a beautiful geranium.
This is one of the wine series. We have a new series. A lot of people like the European window box look, and we just haven't been able to achieve that with a whole lot of success because of our Oklahoma climate. But we have some new varieties that help us with that, and we can really do a lot more with them. The stems on these varieties are a lot thicker. They're a heavier stem to stand up to our wind, and the flower colors are stronger. This one, the flower buds look like roses as they start to open, and then as they open fully, they look more like a regular geranium. This one is Bernardo.
That's
is
a really
the cultivar.
pretty one.
But it has a yellow daisy-type flower, and it is a real good performer for us.
Okay. That's a beautiful geranium.
This is one of the wine series. We have a new series. A lot of people like the European window box look, and we just haven't been able to achieve that with a whole lot of success because of our Oklahoma climate. But we have some new varieties that help us with that, and we can really do a lot more with them. The stems on these varieties are a lot thicker. They're a heavier stem to stand up to our wind, and the flower colors are stronger. This one, the flower buds look like roses as they start to open, and then as they open fully, they look more like a regular geranium. This one is Bernardo.
That's
is
a really
the
pretty
cultivar.
one. Well, this is a really pretty Margarite daisy. We grew this out by our garden gate last year, and it did great. What cultivar is this, Carla?
This is Butterfly. It's a Margarite daisy, and it performs real well in Oklahoma. It takes our heat and takes our drought, which if you had it out by the gate, you know how well it does.
Yeah, we found out it was a great performer here. We've
Right.
also got another daisy-looking flower that's really nice. It's Petite. And what kind is this?
This is Brachycome. This is one of our outback plants. It's a native series from Australia that do real well with our Oklahoma weather. And this one has a real dainty look to it. It takes the sun or partial shade, and it's called Brachycome.
Well, those are nice, and it's always nice to find something that does well in the heat.
Yeah.
Here, these are beautiful, and these look a lot like an okra or a hibiscus. It's because they're in the same family, isn't it?
That's right. This is Abutilon. This one is Moonchimes, the yellow variety. The apricot variety is Apricot Charm. It gives us 2 new colors with this plant. Flowering maple is a common name for it as well. And the flower on these are kind of papery. They look kind of like crepe paper.
They do. They're really pretty. Well, we've got some other things that people commonly think of as a vegetable here. We've got some sweet potatoes, and there's 3 distinct colors here. And how about this yellow one? What's the variety on it?
That one is Margarite. It is a yellow gold or a kind of a fluorescent green, lime green variety. And then we have a tricolor, the pink, green, and white. And it's just called Tricolor. And then the purple variety is called Blackie, and it has very deeply lobed leaves and the dark coloring.
And those are really nice. We grew some of those out here, and they did great in our heat again.
It's a real tough plant, and they do real well. You'll need to be able to water them through the heat of the summer, but they do real well.
Okay. Well, here we've got our Scaevola, and this is one we grew out by our barn deck last year, but there's a smaller one here, and this is new for this year, isn't it?
It is. This is Petite Wonder. The bigger variety is Blue Wonder, and then this is just a smaller version of it. It gives you a daintier plant for your landscape.
Well, that's a nice variety there. And this is striking. What is that?
This is Osteospermum. It is the pink spoon petal variety. We have a solid pink new variety this year, and then this is the spoon petal.
Well, that is really a nice flower. And finally, we grew some of these in our cut flower garden.
Yes, this is Helichrysum, Gold Beauty, and these are really fun because the papery flowers dry real well, and they make great dried flowers to use in wreaths and dried flower arrangements.
Now this variety is shorter?
It is. That's why we have it in a hanging basket. It will drape over the edge, and it only gets about 8 to 10 inches tall. So it works real good for a low growing towards the front of your border in a flower bed, and it spreads out quite a bit.
Okay. Well, this is quite a selection of plants, Carla, and everybody, you can be watching for plants like this to put out in your garden this year. Thank you so much for bringing these down to us.
Thank you, Brenda.
We hope you've enjoyed this classic from the Oklahoma Gardening Vault. Remember, even though these tips and techniques are timeless, there's always something new to learn in the world of gardening. By subscribing to both Oklahoma Gardening and OK Gardening Classics, you'll have access to a wealth of gardening knowledge, both classic and contemporary.